Hi, I'm Anne Kjellgren, and today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood topics in wine, sulfites. So, what exactly are sulfites? Well, sulfites are a group of sulfur-based compounds that occur naturally during fermentation. They're also commonly added to foods and beverages as preservatives to prevent oxidation and spoilage. So, what this means is anything that has been fermented, any wine, any food, any pickling, anything like that, has sulfites. There is not a wine out there that does not have some amount of sulfites that naturally occurred during the fermentation process. In winemaking, sulfur dioxide, or SO2, has been used for centuries to stabilize wine and keep it fresh. Without it, your favorite bottle would turn into vinegar before you could enjoy it. So here's a fun fact. Wine contains fewer sulfites than many everyday foods. Dried fruits like raisins and apricots can have 10 times more sulfites than a glass of wine. Even items like orange juice and salad dressings often contain higher levels. For example, dried fruits have up to 3,000 parts per million, French fries up to 1,800 parts per million, and wine typically 150 parts per million for whites and 50 to 100 parts per million for reds. In the United States, it is a law that says that anytime there are more than 100 parts per million, that it has to be labeled on the side of the bottle. Now let's talk about sulfites in the old world versus new world. If you've listened to me at all, you know that I go back to this quite a lot because there is a huge difference in winemaking and people do make some assumptions that may not be true. Old world producers, like those in France and Italy, often aim for lower levels of added sulfites due to stricter regulations and traditional winemaking practices, meaning that winemakers in France, Italy, and any of the old world countries will tend to make wine the way that they've been making it for the past 16 generations or more. That is how they know how to make wine. They're not trying to do anything special. That's just how they've always done it. So New World wines from places like California and Australia may use slightly higher levels to ensure stability during transport. But here's the thing, even the highest levels allowed, wine at 350 parts per million in the United States, are considered safe for most people. So are sulfites really the problem? Many people blame sulfites for headaches or allergic reactions. But is that really the issue? Studies suggest that only a small percentage of the population, around 1%, has a true sulfite sensitivity, and it's usually those that are prone to asthma. It's more likely that reactions are caused by other additives in wine, such as additive preservatives or flavorings in mass-produced wines, histamines and tannins, which are naturally occurring in wine, especially reds. Tannins, if you remember, are those things that when you drink a red wine, the insides of your mouth, especially the inside of your cheeks and even your gum line, are going to feel very dry, and it's almost like your cheeks are getting sucked in. And a common sensation for me is that it makes me want to go brush my teeth if I'm drinking a wine with a lot of tannins. So that might be something to consider as well. So if you've experienced discomfort after drinking wine, it's worth exploring how wine is made rather than blaming sulfites alone. Here's what you need to know. Sulfites are natural and safe in moderation. Wine contains fewer sulfites than many common foods, and old world wines often have fewer additives than some of the new world options. So, if you believe you're sensitive and you are